The young Air Force liaison looked at the quiet woman in the control tower and shook his head. "Ma'am, you can't coordinate military intercepts. That requires specialized training." Jessica Park calmly put on her headset and replied, "I used to run NORAD's Pacific Command Center." Welcome to Daily Story. Before we dive into this extraordinary tale of hidden expertise and national defense, tell us in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe stories like these deserve to be told, hit that subscribe button to join our community. Denver International Airport's control tower rose 327 feet above the Colorado Plains, its distinctive white peak structure visible for miles across the flat landscape. Inside the tower's glass-enclosed cab, 24 hours a day, air traffic controllers guided hundreds of aircraft through some of the nation's busiest airspace. Jessica Park had worked the overnight shift for 12 years, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., when commercial traffic was lighter but international flights created complex routing challenges. At 44, she had the quiet competence and steady nerves that made her perfect for the job, tracking multiple aircraft simultaneously, making split-second decisions, and maintaining absolute precision in communications that kept thousands of passengers safe every night. Her colleagues knew her as the controller who never seemed rattled, never raised her voice, and never made mistakes. She spoke in the clipped, professional phrases that all controllers used, but with an economy of words that suggested someone who had learned to communicate essential information as efficiently as possible. Most assumed she was simply introverted. A few recognized that her calm came from experience with much higher stakes than commercial aviation. Jessica lived in a modest apartment 15 minutes from the airport, a space that would have looked unremarkable to most visitors except for the wall of sophisticated monitoring equipment and the custom-built workstation that took up half her living room. Her neighbors assumed she was an aviation enthusiast or maybe a ham radio operator. They had no idea those screens displayed real-time air defense data from NORAD installations across North America. What Jessica's co-workers didn't know, what the pilots who heard her voice every night couldn't guess, was that Commander Jessica Park, United States Air Force, had spent 18 years as one of the most senior air defense controllers in American military history. She had coordinated fighter intercepts during the September 11 attacks, managed air defense during multiple international crises, and run NORAD's Pacific Command Center during the most dangerous period of tensions with North Korea. The transition from military to civilian air traffic control had been part of a carefully planned retirement. After 18 years of monitoring threats to American airspace, Jessica had requested assignment to work that used her skills without the constant stress of national security responsibilities. Civilian air traffic control was challenging and important, but commercial flights didn't carry nuclear weapons or threaten American cities. Her apartment was sparsely furnished but comfortable. She lived alone, maintained minimal social contacts outside work, and had built the kind of routine that helped former military personnel adjust to civilian life. She read aviation journals, worked out at a local gym, and had even started dating Tom, a United Airlines pilot who appreciated her professional expertise and never asked too many questions about her military background. Jessica had found peace in the predictable rhythms of civilian aviation. Each shift brought familiar challenges, weather delays, equipment problems, and the complex choreography of guiding aircraft through busy airspace. She helped travelers reach their destinations safely, work that served people without involving weapons systems or strategic defense calculations. The night of November 3rd started like any other overnight shift. Jessica reported for duty at 10 p.m., relieved the evening controller, and began managing the lighter but more complex traffic pattern of late-night international flights. Denver International served as a major hub for trans-Pacific routes, and its screen showed the usual collection of cargo planes, red-eye passenger flights, and military transport aircraft crossing the continent. At 2:47 a.m., 6 aircraft appeared on her radar screen that shouldn't have been there. The contacts were flying in tight formation at 35,000 feet, approximately 200 miles northwest of Denver, heading southeast at 520 knots. No flight plans had been filed. No transponder codes were active. Most concerning, the aircraft were flying a profile that Jessica recognized from 18 years of military experience, low observable penetration flight, designed to minimize radar signature while maintaining high speed toward strategic targets. Jessica immediately initiated standard protocols for unidentified aircraft, switching to the emergency frequency used for intercept communications. Unknown aircraft northwest of Denver, this is Denver Approach Control. Identify yourself immediately and squawk emergency transponder code. No response. Jessica tried again, using military procedures she wasn't supposed to know. Unknown formation, this is Denver Control. You are in violation of controlled airspace. Identify yourself and comply with intercept procedures immediately. Still no response, but the aircraft had altered course slightly, now heading directly toward Denver. Jessica made a decision that would reveal just how different she was from other civilian controllers. She opened a secure communication channel she wasn't supposed to have access to and contacted NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain Operations Center directly. Cheyenne Mountain, this is Denver Tower. I have 6 unidentified military aircraft approaching Denver airspace. Request immediate threat assessment. Denver Tower, this is NORAD Operations. You do not have the authority to contact this facility. Route your report through appropriate FAA channels. NORAD Operations, this is Commander Jessica Park, former Pacific Command. Authentication code Sierra 7 Delta 40. I am reporting hostile aircraft penetration of U.S. airspace. There was a pause before the NORAD operator responded. Commander Park, we show you assigned to civilian duties. What is your current position? I'm working in civilian air traffic control at Denver International. I have 6 aircraft in stealth formation approaching from the northwest. Flight profile indicates hostile intent. Estimated time to the Denver metropolitan area, 18 minutes. Copy that, Commander. We're tracking the same contacts on long-range radar. Standard intercept aircraft are 40 minutes out from Peterson Air Force Base. Too far to engage before they reach populated areas. Jessica looked at her radar screen, where the unidentified aircraft were maintaining course and speed toward one of America's largest cities. She made a decision based on 18 years of air defense experience and intimate knowledge of every military asset in the region. NORAD Operations, there are 2 F-22 Raptors conducting training exercises at high altitude over Wyoming. I can vector them for intercept using the Civilian Air Traffic Control Authority. Commander, you don't have authorization to coordinate military intercepts from civilian facilities. I have authorization to protect American airspace by any means necessary. And right now, I'm the only controller who can guide those F-22s to intercept before hostile aircraft reach Denver. Jessica switched to the military frequency used by the training aircraft. Viper flight, this is Denver approach. Immediate priority intercept vector. 6 hostile aircraft bearing 130, altitude 35,000, speed 520 knots. You are cleared to engage under rules of engagement alpha. The lead pilot responded immediately. Denver approach, Viper lead. We copy hostile aircraft. Request authentication for military intercept from civilian controller. Jessica provided her military authentication codes and began the most complex air traffic control operation of her career, guiding 2 F-22 Raptors to intercept 6 hostile aircraft using civilian radar systems and communication protocols never designed for military operations. Viper lead, turn right heading 140, descend to flight level 300. Hostile aircraft now bearing 125, distance 80 miles, still heading toward the Denver metropolitan area. For the next 12 minutes, Jessica coordinated a high-speed intercept that required every skill she had learned in 18 years of military service. She guided the F-22s through complex intercept geometry while simultaneously managing civilian traffic that had to be cleared from the engagement area. Viper lead, you have visual contact with hostile formation? Denver approach, Viper lead has visual on 6 aircraft. Configuration appears to be modified civilian jets with external weapons pylons. Requesting weapons release authority. Jessica contacted NORAD Operations for final authorization. Cheyenne Mountain, this is Denver Tower. F-22s have visual on hostile aircraft. Recommend immediate weapons release authority. Denver Tower, you have weapons release authority. Viper flight is cleared to engage hostile aircraft threatening the Denver metropolitan area. The engagement lasted 4 minutes. All 6 hostile aircraft were destroyed without reaching populated areas. Later investigation would reveal they were modified civilian jets carrying improvised explosive devices, flown by domestic terrorists planning coordinated attacks on Denver's airport, downtown business district, and military installations. As emergency crews and federal agents swarmed Denver International Airport, Jessica was met by General Patricia Hayes from NORAD, who had flown in by helicopter within an hour of the incident. Commander Park, your actions tonight prevented what would have been the worst terrorist attack in American history. How did you identify the threat when our military radar systems missed it? Jessica looked through the tower windows at the aircraft still landing and taking off normally, their passengers unaware of how close they had come to catastrophe. General, civilian air traffic controllers see everything. We track aircraft that military systems might miss because we're monitoring commercial frequencies and flight patterns constantly. Would you consider returning to military service? The country needs people with your capabilities. Jessica considered the offer while watching a United Airlines flight taxi to the gate, Possibly the flight Tom was piloting, carrying passengers who would never know how their evening had almost ended. General, I'll consult on air defense systems integration and training. But I want to keep doing this job too. Civilian controllers need to understand how to coordinate with military systems during emergencies. Agreed. We'll establish a liaison position that allows you to work both roles. 6 months later, Jessica Park was still working overnight shifts at Denver International Airport, but now she also spent time training military and civilian controllers in integrated air defense procedures. She had developed new protocols allowing civilian air traffic control systems to coordinate with military intercept operations during national emergencies. Her control tower position had been equipped with secure communication systems connecting directly to NORAD operations centers, and her workstation included military-grade radar displays that could track both civilian and military aircraft across the entire western United States. Jessica had learned that retirement from military service didn't mean abandoning national defense. It meant finding new ways to use specialized knowledge to protect the country from threats that traditional systems might miss. The quiet controller who nobody talked to had become the bridge between civilian aviation and military air defense, ensuring that future threats would be detected and intercepted before they could reach American cities. Sometimes the most important protection comes from people who understand both worlds, civilian and military, and can coordinate between them when it matters most. Sometimes the best defense is having the right person in the right place when the unexpected happens. Jessica Park had discovered that true service meant being ready to use your expertise whenever and wherever it was needed, whether in a military command center or a civilian control tower. So now I ask you, have you ever known someone whose calm professionalism suggested they had experience with much higher stakes situations? Someone who handled routine responsibilities with a precision that seemed to come from more demanding training? Share their story in the comments below. Tell us about the hidden experts in your life, the ones who bring specialized skills to ordinary jobs and make everyone safer because of it. And if this story moved you, if it reminded you that protection often comes from unexpected places, hit that subscribe button and join the Daily Story community. We're here to honor the technical experts, the quiet professionals, the people who keep us safe while working in plain sight. Thank you for watching, and remember, the next time you hear an air traffic controller's voice guiding your flight, listen a little closer. You might be hearing someone who has spent their career ensuring that American skies remain safe from threats you never knew existed.